Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm Kristen, and today I'm going to show you guys some ways you can organize your cabinets or your cupboards if you do not have a pantry. We do not have a pantry at our home, so I really try to find ways I can organize. I know it's super hard, but I found some really easy ways to keep it organized and know what you have in your cupboards without buying more. So let's jump into the video. All right, so first off, I want to thank Cricut for sponsoring today's video. This is going to be a no pantry organizing my kitchen cupboards. I am so excited to show you guys how I was able to organize this. You can see right here, this is just one cupboard out of 3 that I did in this video, and this one was just not working out for me. So everything that I did here was just a mess. I tried to organize, I tried to buy baskets and bins and all sorts of things like that, and it just still was not working out. So the first thing I wanted to do was take everything out, wipe everything down, see what I had, what I could add to bins, what I could add to baskets, what I could put inside little containers, just to get everything started. So it was nice being able to see what I had, especially on the top shelf. I don't normally know what I have up there, just because I definitely need a stool or I have to stand on top of the counter to see what is actually up there. But it's really nice to get to spring cleaning and organize, because where I'm from, it is super cold in the wintertime. So when it is summer, we really try to enjoy the outdoors. So when things are organized on the inside, I don't have to worry about it over the summertime.
1, 2, 3. I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock.
This right here is a great overview of what I had in there. I did end up moving things around and putting them in different places, so that really helped make that cupboard more functional. So I am going to be using the Cricut Explore Air 2, and this is what it looks like, and it is really, really easy to use. I have a lot of Cricut beginner videos, and I will link those in a playlist in the description box below for you guys. But the first thing I wanted to do was go through my cupboard and see exactly what I had in there. I picked up a bunch of containers from Dollar Tree, and I'll show you guys that in a little bit. But the first thing I like to do is measure everything out. So right now I am in Cricut Design Space. I clicked on images on the left-hand side and typed in kitchen labels. There's so many fun kitchen labels that you can cut out, but I kind of wanted them to be all matching and cohesive. So I did end up finding these ones with the borders that match perfectly. So I just clicked on a bunch of them in images, and then when you go back to your project, they will all show up here. And then I did want to make sure they are going to fit on all my containers. So at the top you can see the size and the height, and that's why I measure my projects before I cut any type of design, because I want to make sure it will fit. And all I do is just go right up to the top and type in the width I want it and the height. So I kind of did like a 4 by whatever the height was, just so it kind of looked nice. I ended up not using the snacks. I just deleted that, didn't even worry about it. I'm also going to be using the premium vinyl in the standard grip. I always use a standard grip mat for my vinyl. You probably could use the lightweight, but I just think that this just works a lot better. And I'm just going to be going with the black premium vinyl, and I'm also going to be using the white premium vinyl as well. So you always want to make sure your vinyl is facing up. And then there will be buttons on your Explorer Air 2 that will be flashing. The arrows will insert your vinyl, and then the little C Cricut button will actually make your cuts for you. So right now I'm just going to be using my Cricut weeding tool to weed all of my labels out. So I did not do and show you every single label and how to weed, or this video would be 3 hours long.
Picking off the wall, but tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes.
And then I just kind of wanted to give you an overview and show you everything I picked up at the Dollar Tree, because I did want this to be a budget-friendly video as well. So I did find some really great containers. The larger containers, I did notice that it is really hard to put vinyl on just because of the texture of the containers. I ended up eventually getting it, but it was a little tricky. So you're going to see later on I did something different with the larger containers, just because, like I said, this was really hard because of the texture on the containers. And then you're going to be seeing that I'm using the transfer tape by Cricut as well. I love the grids on here because you can make everything nice and even, and you can make sure it is straight. So you're going to see right here, it kind of messed up a little bit, but I was able to save this just because of the roundness. I really wasn't thinking when I cut the vinyl decals, but I was definitely going to save them. I do not like wasting vinyl. I save every little piece I have just in case I want to cut out one word. So always keep your scraps because you never know if you're going to eventually use them. I did when it came to some of the other labels that I did make because I was just cutting out words. And then to get the transfer tape on the vinyl decal, I am just using the Cricut scraper. I think it is just super easy. These little containers right here, this white rice one, these worked out really well. You're going to see that this decal went on easy as can be. It was a little bit bigger because I was going to actually put the white rice in something different, but I'm like, I really don't have a lot. I never really have a lot. It's not like a huge staple in our house, but pancake mix, oh yeah, we filled that one up. This was like one of the most satisfying fun things to do through this whole video was cutting out labels and putting things in fun containers and just making everything look so pretty in your cupboards. But I love this idea. I really think that I should get like a smaller measuring cup so I'm able just to like dump things in the bowls, because I feel like I've never done containers like this before except with my flour and sugar, but I don't bake a lot, so I don't always have a lot of flour and sugar either. These really cute little spice jars, these came off Amazon and I will link them for you, but I really wanted something different for the spices. I just thought that they were in really ugly like jars or containers. I mean, I know that really probably doesn't matter, but I mean, if I was going to go all out on organizing my cupboards, I wanted everything to look pretty. These bins came from Dollar Tree in the beginning of springtime, and I loved these colors and I wanted something fun in the cupboards. So I decided to go with like some pasta sides in one of these bins. I also decided to go with like some seasoning packets that I have. I kind of liked this idea because then I could just kind of pull the whole bin down and see what I was looking for. It just made it really, really easy. And then I just added a bin for all of our popcorn. It's probably a little weird spot to put something like this, but it's just kind of nice when we pull out the popcorn maker that it's just right there in the cupboard. This one is just sides and just extra stuff I had laying around. Wasn't really sure what to do with, so I just decided to add some pizza crust mix in there and some marinade packets with some muffins. All right, so I went back into my Cricut design space because now I had my bins ready. I have some fun chalkboard labels, and I did just want to add some text to my labels. So I have popcorn, we have extras, we have seasoning mixes, pasta sides, everything that I just put in those bins, I am just going to be making here. So all you do is push the text button on the left-hand side, and then you can see that I am sizing all of my text, and all I did was went up to the top where it says size and I measured my chalkboard labels. Like I said, you always want to measure what you're going to be putting on your vinyl decal because you want to make sure that it fits and you're not wasting vinyl. So I'm also doing like breakfast bars and other things you're going to see later on where I put those. And then once you're done and ready to go, you just push the make it button at the top, and then right here on the grid screen, I did kind of move things around because it's just easier to weed when everything is not touching each other. And these are the chalkboard labels that I picked up at a yard sale. They're originally from Michael's, and you can kind of see my transfer tape is getting kind of gross, but I've used it so many times. I love and I am glad I'm able to use the transfer tape as much as I possibly can until the sticky kind of wears out. But I love these chalkboard labels because they already have the little clothespin on the back. This just makes everything so much easier, and now I know exactly what I have. Eventually, I guess if I do decide to change out what is in the bins, this vinyl will peel right off because it's not permanent vinyl, and it will come off nicely on these chalkboard labels, and I am able to put something else on there. No big deal. But yeah, I'm just using the large scraper by Cricut, and then now I'm just adding all these to the bins. I did end up moving them down just a little bit because it looked weird with them sticking out at the top, so I did move them down into the little handle. And I love the way this cupboard turned out. I think this is so nice. I love being able to just grab things when I cook dinner. My kids are pretty picky eaters, so you're going to see a lot of mac and cheese. But I want to show you the before picture and then the after of this cupboard. I am so happy with the way it turned out. I have more space, and I do have extra space in case I decide to buy more items. I still have room for that.
I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me. No, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me. No, no, nothing can break me.
This next cupboard is technically my baking cupboard. Although I do not bake a lot, I still have a baking cupboard. My kids still like baking cupcakes and cakes, so we have a lot of like fun stuff in here that we use for that. I also had some stuff with essential oils. I love Simply Earth, so I have a lot of essential oil needs in here along with some wax melts. I just ended up taking those out and actually putting them in bins where I have the rest of my stuff. It was just there already, so I left it, but I'm so glad I decided to take it out and make more room for food and things that we actually need inside the cupboards. So right here, I'm just putting all of my breakfast bars in here. I'm the only one that eats this stuff, so I thought I would keep it close in a cupboard I could just reach on the go, and this worked out perfect. And granted, it's in the baking cupboard now, but I think it's just way easier to grab everything, and I can see when I start to run out and I need more. So I just decided to do another bin with some sprinkles, and then I just did a couple other bins with a lot of the baking stuff that I already had. And then now I'm just going to be adding the labels to the flour and the sugar. Like I said, these were pretty tricky. I actually already had these containers, but I definitely don't recommend to put vinyl on these unless you can maybe add just a label and then put the vinyl on top of the label. Would probably work way, way better than struggling with this awful texture of a container.
I wanna drive a faster car. Lay my troubles to rest. Blow the smoke through my cigarette.
And now I'm going to be using these small chalkboard clothespin labels. These were from Dollar Tree, and all I did was make some labels for my baking cupboard. So I just put baking on most of these, sprinkles, bars because of my breakfast bars. Breakfast bars, I wasn't even going to try to weed out that small, and it's like they're bars. It works. It doesn't have to be breakfast bars. It doesn't have to be Nutri-Grain bars. You know, we're just going to go with it because this made sense. It looked easier, and I'm so happy with the way this turned out. I ended up adding baking powder. I moved my pancake mix over there. I am just so happy. So this is before. Before really wasn't that bad, but now I just think it just makes more sense to me. And I love the labels because I know exactly what is in that bin when I pull it out on the counter.
City lights looking fine, and I know this is my time now. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so
And this last cupboard is the giant snack cupboard. So my family loves snacks. I do. My husband does. My kids take lunches every day. They take snacks every day. It's kind of just necessary in our house. Some people probably don't have this many snacks. We just do. I don't live close to a store, so when I can find a sale, I do buy more than probably what I need to, but I don't have to grocery shop more than twice a month. So it just definitely works out in my favor. But the first thing I'm going to do is pull everything out, wipe everything down, and then start organizing. So I had a bunch of bins and containers from the Dollar Tree once again, and I did have to toss out a couple things that were stale that kind of got shoved in the back. That's why I really wanted to organize this cupboard, because it was just going to work out without having to throw stuff away because it was shoved in the back. So now we know what we have. I know what I can pack for lunches and snacks and change it up a bit, and it's just definitely going to work out. These larger Dollar Tree bins, I decided to put lunch chips in there along with snacks. So, and fruit snacks. because it works out for me when I am so tired in the morning and have to pack a snack and a lunch. So for this, I decided to add some circle labels. So I went to the images on the left-hand side, typed in circle labels, and then I did measure the tops of the containers. So I decided to put these on the lids instead of the side because I know they will not come off the lids. So I decided to do 4.5 by 4.5 for the circles. And at the top right, you can just push duplicate. So I duplicated them. I only wanted 4 instead of 5, so I ended up deleting one. I used the premium vinyl in black, and then I cut these out. And then I also just went back into the design space and just cut out some more words that say like fruit snacks, lunch snacks. We got chips, and I just love how these turned out. You guys have no idea like how much joy organizing a cupboard brings me. I hope you realize right now that it brings me so much joy, and I hope that if you guys really want to organize your cupboards and you don't have a pantry, I hope this helped you, because this has definitely helped me the past few weeks of having my cupboards like this. It works out in my favor. It works out for my kids. My husband knows where to find the fruit snacks because it's labeled. And then all I did was with the black circle labels is put them right on the tops of these bins. And then I just put the words or the labels on the top. So this one's cheese balls. We have animal crackers. We have goldfish. And I love the way these turned out because you can actually make your own labels with Cricut. It is super easy to do. And it's super easy just to type in your text and use chalkboard labels if you want. This seriously has been amazing. I used to have a label maker, but I feel like eventually the label maker, they just fall off. They're not pretty. You can't design them differently. So I am super, super happy with the way this turned out. And this took no time at all.
Not to hold me down, feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me. No, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down, feel alive when I'm in this.
What is an organizing cleaning video unless you show the before and then the after just one more time? I'm so excited and I'm so happy with the way this turned out. This is going to make my life so much easier. Cricut has just honestly made my life so much easier, being able to make my own labels, my own home decor, my own signs. If you guys want to check out Cricut, I will leave links in the description box below so you guys can check it out. I hope this also gave you some great ideas if you do not have a pantry in your home. But that is it, you guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye!
Look at the beautiful stars. I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me. No, no, nothing can break me. Look at the beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breaks.